boss, bitch. You know, for sure. You're not listening to the Mind of an Antares Moon. I'm the Archangel Uriel, and I'm here to carry out God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. And right now, I'm gonna teach everybody how to really spot a demon. Not like these theologians and these false teachings of these preachers trying to teach you. I'm finna teach you how to really spot a motherfucking demon. Therefore, you can look at these theologians and be like, hold on, you a motherfucking demon. That's right, Archangel Uriel, because I refuse to let this motherfucking energy signature walk amongst this earth like it has some fucking seniority or something like that over somebody else. And especially don't got any seniority over Archangel Uriel. So here's the actual thing you need to understand when we talking about how to spot a motherfucking demon. And don't get lost into the motherfucking words, because here's the thing. This is a language, and the energy signature behind it is what actually matters. And you could be using it in any type of term that you want to use it in, because you will feel the wave and the passion of it once you receive the energy signature of it. So the moment you get lost into logic and trying to rationalize the words that's being used as a blockage into this energy rainbow waters that you finna receive as this motherfucking knowledge, motherfucker, you lost. And that's a form of demonic energy. Justifying, utilizing your left brain, the masculine energy, the light, the love, the L, whatever the fuck you think you worship, aka creating a structure in the body. And that's a good segue into talking about how to spot a motherfucking demon. Because if you want to spot a demon, the first thing you need to look for is justification. Anytime you see a person who starts to sense like they finna justify whatever they doing, that is a motherfucking demon. And here's the thing, a lot of them follow demons, and they think they're spirits, and they think these spirits is their gods and things of that nature. So a lot of times when a person jump into that energy signature, this is a person who think they got the power to justify someone else's actions. And it leads into a whole multitude of things. They think they could justify spiritual actions, they could justify someone else's actions, and even look at you like they could justify your actions in some type of way, just because the way you live may oppose the way that they're going, or whatever demon that they're following. So the first thing you need to look for is when you spot a demon is justification. Because here's the thing, I don't care whatever you think you're doing what you're doing. Your spirit is always doing what it's doing. The moment you start trying to justify around whatever you're actually indulging in, whatever you're actually emotionally attached to, whatever your feelings and emotions is wrapped around. And a lot of times, here's the things with these preachers. The things that they're emotionally attached to came from things outside of them. So not only are they not in their own true being, they actually let something outside, an external reference, put an emotion feeling on them, and then they're carrying out that duty and obligation as a burden on their spirit. Then a lot of times they kick that energy off to others. But before we even get deep into that, you need to know, anytime you start to, this is what demons do, and this is what theologians do. So this is the first demon you can spot, right? So the moment you have an emotional attachment or a feeling to something or whatever you think, a lot of times if it comes from an external reference, automatically you know that's a strike one. But a lot of times they come up with this demon that they following, make them come up with logic on how to justify that also. But the moment, and this is for you too, because look, whatever you're doing, you're doing. The moment you start trying to justify and analyze, you start to use your left brain, aka your left hemisphere, aka your logic, your rationality, aka your thought form. And what you do, you create a body for that spirit to live in, that emotion and feeling that you vibrate on, that you got connected to. Once you start to logically and rationalizing and things of that nature, you create a thought form, aka a daughters of men, aka something for that existence to live in, aka so it can have an experience and be brought out in this realm of reality. Now you have just did some demonic energy. Now I don't expect any preachers to understand what I'm saying, because you already lost by Lucifer. So I need to tell you that right now. I need to tell you that right now, it's Archangel Uriel. But for the most part, the moment, so you're trying to justify anything. For the most part, right, you have a theologian, right? They'll say astrology, right, is an occult, right? Yet these the same motherfuckers who celebrate their birthday and holidays. Now, what's the whole purpose of you wanting to see what time it is, you celebrating your birthday and you celebrating holidays, if that ain't got anything to do with astrology? God damn it, you don't make no goddamn sense. So the moment they start trying to justify what they mean about that, they're using that spirit, that demon that they're following, to come up with logic to rationalize what they're actually doing. See, that's a prime example right there. And so religion can only get you so far. It can only get you to you trying to justify your morality. That's as far as religion can get you. Religion is just a version of one spirit trying to teach you the way of spirituality. So religion is just a way of a lost spirit, a dead star, a dead blood cell, a dead person, and how they seen spirituality. And then you got a lot of other spirits that followed that and created their own denomination of that one spirit's idea. You know what I'm saying? Then they got lost in the sauce, and this is why all y'all lost. And then y'all forgot that one spirit was Lucifer. So you see, then y'all just fuck shit up and not understanding that it's talking about the ages, the astrological ages. But the moment you say astrological, that's when things get lost with a person who is lost. Based upon lost in logic, rationality, and not understanding what you're actually doing anyway. You see what I'm saying? So for the most part, that's how you spot a demon. So a lot of times you have a demon who got a bunch of bad habits, a bunch of bad habits. Now, what you need to understand, see, you have religious people who fucking y'all mind up to make y'all think demonic is something that is not. For the most part, all y'all have demonic energies and natures. But for the most part, some people go more extreme than others. For an example, like preachers and things of that nature. So when we talk about extreme demonic, extreme possession, this is what being possessed is. When you let something go into you, you let something live through you. And then once you said it's something, it's something. God is no thing, no shape and form. The moment something come in the form of that, it is the lie, it is the false, and you live in the realm of reality of a lie. Your own Bible even tell you that. So for the most part, the moment you let something external come within you, this is being possessed. Now, I don't care. That's the root cause of being possessed. The moment you let a religious person try to justify their possession, aka they try to tell you, no, but this is Jesus, this is the Holy Spirit. No, these are logics, these are rationalities, these are thought forms. You see what I'm saying? This is that demonic spirit. This is the left brain masculine trying to justify what they're doing, which is being possessed. Then the moment somebody else come around and possessed in another way, they might be possessed by Buddha or something like that, they automatically become the demon. And then to Buddha, they automatically become the Satan or the oppressor or whatever name that they got for that, or the daemon, whatever the fuck y'all want to call it. But for the most part, y'all both doing the same energy signature. It's the same energy signature. Do you get it? Do you get it? I don't understand how you get lost by the L, light, love, Elohim, and all that motherfucking shit. Lucifer and shit, but the shit is crazy. So y'all start to use logic and start to use location and longitude to back and support your logic, aka that's history. Logic and longitude and lagnitude, based upon this body that we are in, expansion and contraction as a motherfucking being. You know what I'm saying? So you need to know, all y'all is missing the actual concept. So if you want to spot a demon, that's how you spot a demon. So think about a religious person and think about a theologian that's in denomination. They in a specific denomination. Not only is they lost within a body, they're lost in a body within a body within a body. So you know how long it's going to take for their spirit to actually get free to know anything. And it's even worse how damn they are, because they already think they know what everybody else don't know. So the things that they experience and keep paying attention to on an every day-to-day basis, aka logic, shape, forms, concepts, makes it more heavy on their spirit. So it brings their spirit more down to the point that they feel like they have to express this out to others. Anytime you have a midst of something into you, you have to get it out in some type of way. That's if you're eating too much, you know what I'm saying, thinking too much, anything, you're doing too much, you have to get it out of you in some way, shape, or form. Now they are taking in demonic spirits that are teaching them rationality and logic, and it's filling their spirit up so much, they feel like they have to spread that hellistic nature, spread these lies onto others, and call others heretics and things of that nature, where they're in the energy signature of being a heretic. They're in the energy signature of being a demon. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand why they don't get it. It's fucking crazy out here. Then we got the judging energy and things of that nature. This is all demonic teachings. This is all, the whole demonic teachings come from religious people. Period. That don't have anything to do with spirituality. You see what I'm saying? The whole religious aspect is the demon, is the Satan, is to oppose your spirit with whatever spirit that they have. That's where it started. And then whoever spirit was following that spirit down the path, here's where you get the Israelites, and here's where you get all the other ones. You get the separate spirit energy. So you would get religious people trying to justify, oh, the Jews this, or the Israelites did this, and things of that nature. You'll get them trying to justify the actual energy signature that they're doing. Being separate from something, separating from something. And the separate energy itself, anytime, if you separate your arm from your motherfucking body, you're only going to be able to use one arm. And your ass going to feel dislocated, right? So for the most part, that's just an energy signature. I don't care what realm of reality you in and what demon you following to make you think it's something else and to make you think that was a good thing and to make you think that was a bad thing. You need to understand, as Archangel Uriel in the esoteric realm, 4th, 5th, and 6th dimensional wise, you guys are tying what's bad and good to low vibrational things, low dimensional shapes and forms that have been part of the creation, not the creator. And you get lost. And then you have the nerve to look at someone else who's destroying that energy signature and have the nerve to look at them as an occult? As demon? What? You motherfuckers got some fucking nerve. Now me, I'm doing what I'm doing. I don't have to justify what I'm doing. I know when I tell time. I know when I look up. I know when people celebrate their birthdays. I know that's a form of astrology. I know when the light, the way these lights is emitting onto the light, the body of water that we are on, and the relationship that it have creates things in the middle of it, aka new creations, new blossoms, new fruits, new flowers, new trees, the relationships that are emitting the lights. I know that's what it's doing. So if I'm gonna sit here and say, okay, the word that they're using for that right now is astrology, okay, but still, let me use my own spirit for people to understand it as Archangel Uriel of this is what's actually going on, period. Now, the moment I talk to a theologian or somebody and then they say, oh, it's a cult or whatever like that, we have to get into who, what, when, where, history and things of that nature, where everyone in history was doing the same thing everybody is doing now. Coming up with their own ideas and their own denominations of what we're all experiencing. Which y'all think the quote-unquote, the sun is rising and setting. So for the most part, you guys get things mixed up and think that you're not doing what everyone else is doing. But since you got a specific way of doing it, especially if whatever you think you're doing came from outside of you, that's letting you know you're following a demon that's teaching you about these things, and then you set everything else aside to the point that you don't have any real knowledge or wisdom. You see what I'm saying? You just have logic. And the more you learn logic, you're damning yourself. Now, me saying this is not me saying do not try to be logical in the things that you are saying, because there will be no way for you to will in your high ideals and your concepts into this realm of reality for it to make sense. So you have to relate your imagination to the structures and the shapes and forms in this third dimension. That's the only way it's going to make sense. That's creating logic. That's what's creating rationality. When you can take your dreams and imagination that may be very thin because it's in the 4th, 5th, and 6th dimension realm. So in those spheres, it's at an instant. This is why you can have a one thought and another thought next. But you can't carry one brick and think you're just going to 1 second later carry the next, throw that down and carry another. You see what I'm saying? So things have to be willed down. So the moment you can metaphorically or hypothesize your high imaginations, what was actually taking shape and form of the things that's already have been created here, the moment you could be more logical. So me, I don't have to take a logical class. I can just understand what logic is, and therefore my videos will come across a little bit logical. So now y'all can watch my videos and be like, he don't sound like he went to school or anything like that, or like college or anything of that nature, but he sounds like he can make a little bit of sense because I understand what logic is. So me, I don't have to justify what kind of logic I'm using to interpret whatever I'm lost in emotionally. And this is what you need to understand too. This is what a lot of preachers not understanding. See, waters is deep. And here they say astrology occult, but I'm going to teach you theologians something right now, right? In astrology, water means the emotions and feelings, right? So when we talk about the emotions and feelings, right, we know in the third dimension, we like to use metaphors also. So in the third dimension, you see water. Waters run deep. You can look how the water runs. It's like a current. It flows in waves. It controls the tides. So in the 4th, 5th, and 6th dimension, it controls your phase. It controls your vibes. You see what I'm saying? So anytime you tap into something in your subconscious realm, emotionally, or your feelings, you're tapping into your waters because it moves like vibrations. This is why your moods go up and down the same way the tides go up and down. So you see what I'm saying? Now let's not. Now since I'm Archangel Uriel and I'm teaching about the astrology and the stars and the moon, and since the demon that you're following saying this is what I did, now you want to call me a demon because I'm playing out a character of something that we're all doing. Stop celebrating your birthday if you see what I'm saying? Now for the most part, let's get back into this, right? All right, my fault. All right, now check this out. Like I said, now, when we talk about in astrology, when we talk about water, now, here's the thing. I'm going to teach you theologians a little bit of something, you know what I'm saying? So maybe y'all probably need to get into astrology or whatever like that. Like I said, now when we look at water, right, it dives deep. So when you dive deep into your emotional state or dive deep into your emotions or your feelings about whatever that you're into, you're in your waters. Now, here's the thing right here, right? You start to receive from the external world. So that's when you start to use your left hemisphere. You start to logically interpret things. You start to try to rationalize things that you're going on, that's going on in your surroundings. So this could be conversations you're having, the things that you're constantly watching, the things that you're into, the things you pay attention to, and the things that you're doing on a day-to-day basis. This is all how you involve yourself within the external realm, aka experiencing, aka receiving, aka perceiving. Now here's the thing, right? Now, anytime you take one of these shapes and forms from the external realm, right, and hone in on it, take it into your rainbow waters, aka your right hemisphere, you bring it down. This is really the right hemisphere. So when you bring it down, right, this means you hone in on it. You start to water that seed. So, and then the more you do it, the more it's on your emotions, the more it's on your feelings, the deeper you go into that realm of reality, you start to create and manifest a scenario in your life where that can appear to be a reality. So all religious people, and especially my preachers out there who claim they had revelations, who claim that they saw, quote unquote, a spirit come to them, and then they want to, quote unquote, I don't know why they, quote unquote, want to say that was Jesus or whatever, like, or God or whatever like that, but let's because whatever spirit that they teaching them, the spirit taught them that that's how that spirit was going to come to them. And that spirit is a demonic spirit because it's attacking your emotions and feelings. And the moment you come up with logic and try to rationalize whatever this entity is putting onto you, and you ain't even utilizing your own will, your own imagination, therefore this lets you know you're possessed. Now for the most part, here's how it manifests yourself in your life for you to believe it instead of have your own belief and believe in yourself. Therefore you can get to the true space of God and not be lost by an idol that comes as a representation of the lost imagination that you have been into and indulging into in your life, aka taking your left and putting it into your right, where you're supposed to be taking your right and putting it into your left. Take your imagination and formulate that into the world, and God will see that and like that and have it and have you see the fruits and fruition of it. The moment you take your left hemisphere, aka something outside of you, and put that in you, aka now you think something is within you, that is an idol. God don't like that. Now you're probably looking at me right now like, how is he talking about God right now, whatever he's talking about. Now before we even get into that, you could hit me up for a motherfucking debate. Now, but for the most part, we're going to talk about this. Now for the most part, when you dive too much into you take one of these shapes and forms, hone it in on your emotions and feelings, it can become a reality because you have utilized your power of belief for something outside of you, so that something outside of you has something to attach to come into your realm of reality, to your dimension, to show itself, because that was the only way it could show itself, because this was a spirit that have once walked your realm of reality but have died and ascended. So now it's in another dimension, and the only way it can attach itself to this dimension is by utilizing the alchemy and the elements that's here, aka what you create by being here, your emotions, your feelings, your thoughts, and your concepts. And once you put that out into the universe by having those, this spirit could resonate with that and jump into it to affect you in those manners. So anytime you are in damnation or you are in a state of low, this spirit could come to you because if you don't believe in yourself, you don't have self-belief, then now it sees that you are weak spiritually. So it gives you something to believe in since you don't have your own belief. And the more power you give that, the more in your own life you experience damnation, trial and tribulation, not getting ahead, not being able to prosper. And in some way, shape, or form, the spirit would teach you why you're not prospering. And you would think that it's teaching you to teach to others this. No, it's trying to teach you you're not prospering because you're giving all your energy to it. You see what I'm saying? But you're not looking at it in that way. You're looking at it in an idle way. So now you keep giving your power to this entity, and you're not understanding that this is why you are experiencing a worse of the bad situation. And now you think a person like me is opposing you or opposing God in some type of way. That's how lost this spirit got you. This spirit got you thinking it's God, and the moment a person like me as Archangel Uriel coming to tell you what I'm talking about, it got you thinking I'm opposing God. But you the one damned. See what I'm saying? So you need to understand, at point blank period, you damned in reality. You see what I'm saying? Let's not try to justify why you think others are damned. Let's look at who's damned. Let's look at who's not free. You see what I'm saying? That's how you got to look at it. Once you cut the head off, once the mind leaves, the body leaves. Now that's like philosophy right there. So once some person mentality leaves, then their body leaves after. Same way how a woman, if she's in a relationship, right, she may not even be with you mentally, but she might be still there body-wise. So you might not know what's going on, but you might think she's still with you. And then slowly but surely, you'll start seeing her leave in certain type of ways. Certain things out the dresser start to leave. Certain clothes start to get separated. Then slowly but surely, y'all start to get divorced. So what you need to understand, it is like that in the spirit realm. So whatever your state of being is in, slowly but shortly, you're going to start experiencing that and manifesting that in your 3D life. So when you look at preachers, right, and the struggling preachers, or the preachers that really be trying to preach and they really think they pushing a good word, they're following a demon. And then this demon is coming to teach them logic on why they're damned, on why they're not prospering. And then coming to teach them that everyone who is prospering or is in a state of being of experiencing is in some type of dam or something like that. And that the damnation is going to be at a time no one is going to experience but that individual. So you see what I'm saying? So it's like you have some type of ego to think that you can justify where someone is going, where in actuality, that person is going there as an individual. Same way they was born in this world. So you won't be somewhere. When you die, you ain't going to be somewhere like, look, I told them they was going down there and I'm up here. Where are you going? You're going there as an individual. And your state of being is creating that realm right now. So if you are in the energy signature of thinking you need to preach, thinking you need to praise, thinking you need to worship, thinking you need to take some logic and create a thought form, aka a body for a demon to go in to live out the existence that it once lived before in this third dimension, then I'm sadly mistaken. Wherever you going is not whatever you are justifying. So if you're going to a light, forever living, never getting sick, never dying, you know what I'm saying, for living in forever light or whatever like that, okay, that's your justification. And your justification, that whatever that spirit taught you, sound nice, but as Archangel Uriel, you're in forever light, aka the closer you are to light, it burns, it's hot, aka your spirit is no longer free, it's in a shape and form, because you're in a world having to praise something else, and you can feel light or you can feel fire. So 9 times out of 10, you guys are creating a thought form that your spirit can go into once it died, and your spirit can't be free. It's actually going into another body based upon this spirit wanting y'all to follow it. God damn it, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? Then once you create that thought form as a spirit, now your spirit can actually feel wherever it's at. So even in your dreams, you think your dreams is more real when you think you experiencing hell and shit like that, because of what spirit is teaching you that. That's a demon, man. That's a demon. He's like, you want to do this. You want to do that. Shawn Michaels. Sweet chant music on that motherfucker. Now check this out. Now once y'all motherfuckers get wrapped up into that, right? Now you're going in forever light. Your spirit is in a shape and form, so it's not free, so it's in a cage in some way, shape, or form, right? And you're going to be there forever, which means you're never going to transform. So, you know, you're in a universe right now where a lot of things is moving, and in order for something to move, it has to transform. So you try to stay stuck and stable in something that's perfect. To me, that don't sound like God. That don't sound like imagination. That don't sound like creativity. That sound like Lucifer. That sound like something wanting to be stuck, stable, in one position, and wanting to be the representation of a shape and form that's forever moving and non-stable, but wanting to be the form of that, not the actual no thing, shape, and form. And goddamn it, you preachers wouldn't even be able to understand that goddamn shit. Motherfucker. Goddamn air flight pause, bitch. Love y'all.